Hey Libras, how y'all doing? Welcome. We are going to be taking a look at your upcoming April into May, spring equinox into Beltane. So let's get right into it. In your meditation, I saw the image of a snake and an elephant. So I saw this snake go over to the elephant, but the elephant was not afraid. The snake clearly had friendly intentions. Don't worry. This does not have a sad ending. So the snake kind of crawled up the elephant, went onto its back, and started sort of moving about, causing the elephant, like the snake would do, to shed its skin. And after it shed like a bunch of skin, it was actually, we saw a baby elephant that had actually just been carrying a lot of dead weight. So then I saw this baby elephant standing there with the snake. And then I saw the snake turn into this like Ace of Wands, because snake is Ace of Wands energy, turn into like this magical Ace of Wands staff. And then I saw the hermit come and grab the staff and kind of wink, snap, and then it was like done. So really fascinating stuff here. And I pulled your cards and you got the sea serpent, and there's just a lot going on here, and it feels really, really good, Libra. So the first thing that I want to say, well, I guess it's the second, third, or fourth thing now that I'm going to say, is that we are in eclipse season, right? We're in Mercury retrograde as well. So we're going to have opportunities as a collective to mine our own subconscious, to really look at our belief systems, to really look at what lies in our shadow selves, look at what might be affecting our choices and our perception, bring it into the light of day so that we can release what isn't working and integrate what could really help us, right? Because it's also sometimes the best parts of us exist in our shadow as well. It's not just the parts that, aren't so great or elicit deep feeling of uncomfort. Sometimes our talents, sometimes our most wonderful attributes that didn't have a place in our environment growing up and our formative years are relegated to the shadow. So it's your golden shadow too, right? So you're coming through as the sea serpent, which so stunning. That circle represents spirit. So this is like the most major of the major arcanas for you, which speaks of this is going to be an incredibly important time. Incredibly important. But the sea serpent, this represents emotional healing, but the completion of emotional healing, right? So this is Yermungandr, right? The world serpent from, Norse mythology, which really speaks of the head biting the tail, is about really tying together the emotions for healing. So it's stunning with that snake and the shedding of the skin and the transformation, helping the elephant shed its skin and find its younger self, find its inner child. I do feel like this time is going to have a lot to do with your inner child, that and or the children that are around you that really are going to be, existing in this energy from a place of, that primal rawness of feelings. This is so positive. This also kind of reminds me of a Queen of Wands energy as well, often because it speaks of the gifts that come as a result of emotional healing, which is confidence, groundedness, having a sense of strong boundaries, being really connected to, your abilities as a leader, as a nurturer, as someone who's, incredibly connected to your home life and why you're here, because the wands were the realm of the soul and your soul purpose. It's incredibly, incredibly positive. Whenever this comes up, there's going to be an emotional healing and cleansing that's happening that's going to make way for new manifestations, new connections, new things to fill your heart, right? Really stunning. Elephants, by the way, are connected to memory, right? Because they're known for having long memories. Elephant energy in and of itself, it's a bit of a Three of Swords energy because, they mourn their dead, that connection to, pain from the past, that is the Three of Swords. But they're also, and we did see the Hermit, they're also connected to Hermit energy, right? Which is about, it's not about the answers, it's about knowing which questions to ask, right? So I feel like that's coming in. Actually, Virgo energy is I'm feeling a lot of Virgo energy for you, Libra. So you might want to watch the Virgo reading, but especially take note if you have a primary Virgo placement, as, maybe it's your moon, maybe it's your rising, maybe it's your Venus. There's something about that. Even anyone, who just has people around them that are also Virgos or connect with that energy. It feels important. So you are coming through as the Emperor here, which it's really beautiful because look at these children here. I really feel like children is like a major theme actually of your reading. this is Aries energy, like I said. This is really about coming from a place of authority, empowerment, but also responsibility. Knowing that you not only are you responsible for your own choices, but understanding that, you know, you have a certain responsibility for, you know, how your life takes shape that is separate from how you were raised, from everything you've ever experienced, from all the pain, right? You can be a response to the lessons that you've gone through and not a reaction. And that is a beautiful lesson that the Emperor teaches us. It's really, really stunning, and why he's a symbol of strength, right? He is the four kings combined into the ultimate self, right? Really, really beautiful. So, this is really interesting. This goes here. Your challenge is the Six of Cups. More kids here. We were talking about, the elephant energy and the snake energy and transformation and memory and past and healing and inner child. The fact that this is your challenge, a beautiful tagline for Six of Cups is, I allow the past to heal and inform, not to control, not to hurt, not to dictate my future. So, a way of saying this is my past informs me, but does not dictate my future, right? Past is not prologue. There could also be an energy around this for you, Libra, of allowing yourself to really embrace that child energy within and around you by connecting to the present moment and allowing your emotional waters to flow freely. The fact that this is coming in the place of challenge, but that you're coming through as the sea serpent as the animal energy, and we've got this flowing water here. The more that you are able to allow yourself to be okay with what comes up for you during this time, the better, because it's coming up for a reason. And you've got to feel it, right, in order to heal it. As trite as that sounds, that is just the way that it is. Now, in your place of advice, really, really interesting. You've got Four of Swords and you've got the Five of Cups. Five of Cups is asking you to flip your perspective, right? Don't focus on the three empty cups. Focus on the two that are in the upright, which is, it sounds really, like, oh yeah, I can just do that. But sometimes this is easier or more difficult than others. But sometimes even just knowing this and calling it out in the moment of like, you know what? Okay, self, and just saying it out loud. I know that I need a perspective adjustment, and not trying to fix it immediately, but being open to it. Spirit guides, angels, higher self, phoning a friend, calling, a family member. I need a shift in my perspective. Can we just talk about it? Because the more that you bring it out into the light of day, then you're able to work with it. But you first have to be able to recognize it and acknowledge it within yourself, right? It's what we deny or what we hide from that has power over us. Four of Swords is about taking a big old rest and taking several mental breaks, right? Now, being an air sign, you understand what it's like to have, a busy mind palace. This is really calling to let your mind rest and really key in with your emotions. Our mind can really get in the way of doing that sometimes, or it can lovingly support it. And we can use our mind as a tool to connect with our emotions. And that's what I'm hearing for you guys. Now, you guys know that you're my butterflies. I always have an animal that, for me, represents the energy of a given sign. If you've been watching me for a minute, you know that you guys are my butterflies. You guys understand that the business and the work of metamorphosis is it takes a lot, and it takes a certain willingness to allow yourself to turn into goo in order to rebuild yourself and fly freely, right? Libra, you have such a beautiful energy around being willing to try new things and be curious and, entertain ideas and possibilities that I feel, maybe some of the fixed signs, for example, myself included as a fixed sign, have a little bit more trouble with. And this energy of this season is going to be challenging, some of that fixed sign energy in those ways, because this season is really going to be calling for you be willing to do things a little bit differently or entertain those surprise twists that are coming as a part of eclipse season, right? It's the season of, wow, I didn't see that coming, but I feel like you guys are able to flow with it, right? I feel like you guys are able to be gentle with yourself and others, but I do feel like a major theme of this for you is really about showing yourself the same nurturing and patience and love and consideration that you would a child that you really love, right? Being your own mother, being your own father, like the Emperor, being your own nurturer, like the Queen of Wands. I feel like that is going to be incredibly helpful and also incredibly fulfilling for you, actually. when we look at our past with that elephant and snake energy, sometimes it can help where, we, especially those of you who might have had difficult childhoods, we can't change the past. And sometimes we can't even reframe it, nor should it be reframed. But what we can do is choose to be our own mother, choose to be our own father in the present time, right? And honoring that child within yourself that maybe didn't get everything that they needed or wanted or whatever, however this may or may not come up for you, right? And going, you know what? I can be the mother and or father that I didn't have and treat myself with a certain compassion and nurturing that I needed then, because that's what eclipse season is also all about, right? So in your place of victory, it's stunning. You have King of Wands. So you have the Queen and King of Wands present here. The King of Wands is that cheeky little grin, master of timing, master of knowing when to be still, when to move. He's holding that wand just like the hermit was in the meditation. This is a really stunning energy in your place of victory because it also shows that you're stepping into a place of empowered confidence. And that's what I feel, especially when I'm looking at these lions here, but also healing. I feel like you're going to be spending some time in the watery depths that allows you to emerge from a place of fire, passion, creativity, and I'm hearing the word expansion. But I'm hearing to be patient with the process of it, which leads me to your oracle of the Ice Queen. The Ice Queen. Ideas preserved, non-action, entitlement. This is, look at her sleeping away. This is really, I feel like that owl is like keeping watch, right? Which is about seeing ourselves and others clearly. It's like a high priestess / 10 of cups energy because happiness, results when we are able to see with clarity, right? I love owl energy. But I feel like for you, this is also about paying attention to your dreams and really connecting with your subconscious in a way, because I feel like during the season, it's going to be speaking to you and trying to get your attention. And the more that you can listen and be aware of what's coming up for you, the better. I feel like a way to do that. And again, curate this experience for yourself, right? But I feel like a really good way to do that, or a tip, is to carve out times when you're not busy. Carve out open pockets of time where you have nothing planned. It might even be 10 minutes here, 30 minutes here, a couple hours here, whatever it is for you. But just carve out pockets of time where you're open, right? And then allow those pockets of time to be informed by how you're feeling. I feel like that's what you're being called to do during this time. And that's what's going to help link you to this emotional healing during this eclipse and retrograde season, where a lot of stuff is coming up for us. It's been lying in our hidden depths. And again, this is like a real energy of nurturing. It's really beautiful. And I got to say, it feels very gentle, right? Very gentle. Also, when you sleep, the time goes by more quickly, right? You're not feeling the time. So there's something about that as well. Now, your outcome couldn't be better. It's 10 of Pentacles. This is happy home and family. This is ancestry. This is legacy. This is inheritance. Why do I feel like this is speaking of creating new traditions, creating a new family dynamic, creating a future for your children that is different than how you had it as a child? Think about what kind of ancestor you want to be. Think about the legacy that you want to leave your children. Think about when your children, and this doesn't have to be your actual children. This can be, again, thinking about your inner child, but this can also be the people around you that, are also affected by the choices that you make, but also the world that you leave behind, right? How do you want to be remembered, or what kind of mark do you want to leave? Think about it from a larger viewpoint, right? Think about all the lessons that you learned in the inner child work that you're doing, and then think about what kind of legacy you want to leave behind. Think about how you want to be remembered, and allow it to really frame your perspective on things, because it's very, very easy to get mired down in the day-to-day stuff. And even again, with this 5 of Cups and the 4 of Swords, it's really easy to get stuck on these day-to-day difficulties or dramas or challenges, especially in eclipse season. Things are going to appear a lot larger in the rear view mirror than they actually are. So in order to keep your perspective about you, look at the bigger picture and look at the long term. Keep your eye on the full. Look at that, has mirroring the full moon of the sea serpent. Understand that this time does serve a purpose, and that when we allow ourselves to see things that are hidden and only revealed in the light of the moon, we empower ourselves and we promote ourselves to a better sense of understanding, healing, and opportunity. Because when we're able to reach a place of integration and autonomy by looking at those dark corners, there's nothing we can't manifest. And the 10 of Pentacles is us in our pockets. It's long-term, lasting affluence, influence, security, stability, back to that Emperor energy there as well. I do feel amongst all this, There's also this sense of independent energy, meaning I feel like it's a really good idea because, as it always is when emotions are coming up in a season like we're gonna, that we're in right now, really, is taking some time on your own is needed. Taking some time for extra rest, extra reflection, slow it down, be willing to just spend time in the present moment with an open book. Again, being in your own energy, I feel like is going to be really helpful for you guys at certain points. As butterflies, as Libras, you guys can be incredibly sensitive to other people's energy. There's a part of you as a Libra that just wants everyone to get along and be okay, which is one of my favorite things about you. I so adore that. um, but there might be, only so much you can do in certain situations this month, and the energy that is going to be felt by the collective. So the onus is on you to take care of yourself and understand that sometimes, the best thing that you can do for someone you love, or, in a certain environment with a coworker, about whatever it is, when people are feeling the energies of this season but they're not in the same level of awareness of you, or they don't have this particular blueprint or whatever it is, sometimes the best thing to do is understand that everyone has their own path and not try to dictate how they handle it or get through it. Sometimes you got to let people not be okay. You know what I mean? And trust that you're okay. And you can be okay and have other people that you care about or that are in your direct vicinity not be okay. And the two can coexist because duality is life, right? Again, eclipse energy. So really beautiful, Libras. You absolutely got this. I do feel like you are being protected in a way from a lot of this. I do feel like I'm feeling a lot of empathic energy from you. And you can even be mindful about that. Set yourself up in a nurturing environment. Set yourself up with a beautiful playlist, or movies that make you laugh. I feel like that's going to be incredibly helpful for you. It's really, really beautiful. Libras, you have such a tender, beautiful heart. And it's to be protected and nurtured during this time. It's really lovely. So that being said, I so hope that this helps and resonates. If so, let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Drop me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Thank you so much for being here with me continuously. I'm currently traveling. I'm at an undisclosed location in the States right now. I'm at a hotel, waiting for my visa to be approved so that I can return home to the UK. So thank you so much for your patience. I'm looking forward to being with you guys in a more regular way as I move through this time of transition and get myself, sorted and grounded in my own life and times. And so just thank you again for sticking with me and your patience around everything. And with that being said, I am wishing you a very, very happy spring, April into May. I'll be back with you looking a little bit more deeply at Beltane season coming up here, which is one of my favorite times of year. And yeah, just to thank you guys so much again for being here. And most of all, and as always, my beautiful Libra butterflies. Thank you for being you, and be well. Until next time.